Welcome to Haunted Stories. Close by the historical town of Alnwick is the now disused Shillbottle pit, where one miner working alone. The man's job was to check the mine's ventilation points. Working one day in a far corner of the mine, he went past a spot where decades earlier men had died when part of the roof collapsed. Suddenly, his lamp. As he stood alone in the dark, he heard a man's voice say clearly, "You got a light, mate?" And just as quickly, the lamp came back on again, without ever lighting the wick. But no one was there. Terrified, he raced back to the pit head, white with shock and exhaustion, and so marked was he by this experience that to the end of his working life he would only ever venture into the mine when others were with him and never again alone. The imposing ruin of Dunstanburgh Castle, north-east of Alnwick, is haunted by the first Lord Thomas, Earl of Lancaster, who led a rebellion against his uncle Edward II. The revolt failed and Thomas was imprisoned at Pontefract Castle in West Yorkshire and was sentenced to death for treason. His end was horrific. It took an inexperienced executioner 11 blows to sever his head from his body, and his ghost, carrying his mutilated head with his mutilated neck spewing blood, has been seen walking amid the ruins of the great castle he built. Another Dunstanburgh ghost is that of Sir Guy, a knight who sought shelter there one dark, stormy night. His ghost is said to be searching for a sleeping girl whom he believed he had encountered and then lost in a secret room in the castle. Chillingham Castle's modern masters live alongside a host of spirits, particularly that of John Sage, who was renowned for his brutal torture of prisoners in Edward I's war against the Scots. When the tide turned against him, Sage was hanged in the grounds of Chillingham, and the crowd took souvenirs of his body, cutting off his extremities, including his toes, his fingers, and his nose, all while he was still alive. He's been seen in various forms, wandering the castle many times since then. Some rooms in the castle bear witness to his methods. The Edward room is where Sage hacked a number of Scottish children to death, and it still has a foul smell and a strange atmosphere that affects many who enter it. In the Pink Room, a little boy, known as the Blue Boy or the Radiant Boy, was walled up alive for apparently trying to aid the Spanish Armada. When his body was found, the fingers had been worn away from trying to scrabble out from behind the stones, and his cries of pain and fear have been heard around midnight, and the blue figure of a boy is often seen around those rooms. The ghost of Lady Mary Berkeley roams the castle in search of her husband, Lord Grey, who ran off with her sister. Even Chillingham's Lake is said to be cursed. The bodies of the Scots prisoners were thrown in there, and now, if you dip your hand in, it is said that the dead will pull you.